Welcome to the Astral Mage. My name is Heidi, and today's topic is auras. Okay, so today I would like to talk about 7 important and interesting points about auras. What are auras? Auras are that energetic field that surrounds us, all living beings. Sometimes they're colorful and beautiful. And I would like to talk today about how we can hone in on the skills of actually seeing auras and how we can work with that. For those of you who do not yet know this channel is about magic, it is about mysticism, it is about occultism, and opening all those little doors and discovering what there is to discover together. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me, and thank you very much. I went to this workshop a couple of days ago at the Fool, and Mark was giving a class on auras, which I was very interested in specifically. And first we were just talking about our experiences so far. For those of us who have seen auras in the past, people who can see auras are considered clairvoyant. What is a clairvoyant? A clairvoyant is somebody who can see spirits and energies. And this is something that can be worked on and it can be developed, so you can get better at it if you already kind of have a feeling for it. So this is what was interesting me. How can we develop those skills? One of the first things Mark was talking about was don't rely on seeing the aura. So there may be these special events when, a clairvoyant will see the bright and very clear color of an aura. But this is not something that you can rely on. So a method that Mark said is very good to rely on is getting a sense of the energy of the person you have in front of you. So we all know what it feels like to feel somebody's energy, but really consciously feeling the energy of the person you're trying to read the aura for. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, this is what the energy feels like. And what color would you translate that to be? If, for example, you're feeling the energy is very grounded, very stable, very wealthy maybe, that feeling might translate into red for you. But every person has a different association with colors. So whatever that color feels like, whatever that energy feels like, you can translate it into a color and then sort of visualize it, right? And this is how you can begin practicing those skills. Visualizing the color and seeing, does it fit like that? Even with your eyes closed, the color can start to develop. And we all practiced doing that on each other. And we all took turns seeing each other's colors. And it was so beautiful because people saw different things. And I'm going to get into that later about what people see, even if the colors are different. So we practiced seeing each other's colors with our eyes closed and then afterwards opening them. The next point that was very important was about strengthening the aura. So how can we strengthen the aura? One beautiful way to do that is by rituals. In the class together, we did the Qabalistic Cross. I have a video here linked below about how to do the Qabalistic Cross. I've made that for you a while back, and I've put it in the description box if you're interested. So we did the Qabalistic Cross together as a ritual to boost our auras and to become more vibrant and more visible for each other. And also crystals is another beautiful way of boosting our auras. And Mark demonstrated that in a really amazing way, because I was sitting across from the person that I was attempting to read the aura of. I had my eyes closed. I was seeing her, I was visualizing a blue color, and it was like behind her neck, this blue aura, light blue. And then all of a sudden it sort of got brighter in her mid area of her body, well, with my eyes closed. And when I opened my eyes, I said, yeah, I was seeing this blue color. And Mark said, did it get brighter at some point? And I was like, yes, it did. And he said, yeah, that's because I put this crystal underneath her. And he showed us that he had just put this big crystal ball underneath her chair. And I didn't realize that was happening with my eyes closed, but it had that effect that it boosted her aura. I found that to be very interesting, how crystals can really boost your aura. Another point, we don't own colors. So we may have a dominant color that we usually are, or a stronger color. but those colors can change. And I've seen it. I've seen the same person having two different colors, but the same person, once blue, once green. And Mark had said that that was also a very important point. Our aura colors can change according to how we're feeling, according to, you know, how in tune we are and how balanced we are. And, you know, if we've slept well, even like those kind of things will, who we're hanging around with, what we're eating, those things will influence our auras. That being said, it seems like my dominant color is purple because two people have just come up to me out of the blue in the past and told me that my color was purple. And at the workshop, Mark also saw me being purple with green on the outside. So I'm pretty confident that at least some of the time my aura is purple. Let's go to the next point, which is making our energy invisible to others. So Mark didn't tell us how he did it, but I have to bring it up because I thought it was a really interesting part of the workshop. So he sat there, he said, let's try something else. He put this candle in his hand and he said, okay, can you see my energy? And I was having like a hard time seeing his energy. And I thought like, maybe I'm feeling about run down, like the candle is too bright. I can't really see with the candle. And he asked me like, are you seeing anything? And I was like, well, I just see like small flickers of pink, but I'm not like really, I was like, I'm a bit run down. And he was like, well, I'm shutting down my energy. Like he was doing some magical energy work that was making it hard for us to see his energy. And I think that's beautiful. I really like to learn how, what tricks he was learning. I'm sure I'll be able to learn that in a future workshop. To demonstrate that again, we said, okay, let's try that again. And this time with intention, he said, from the time I blow out the candle, I will be making myself, you know, invisible energetically. And I could definitely see from a very bright energy that he was at the beginning dimming down to much less. I could still see the outline of his energy with my eyes closed, but it was much less than at the beginning where you see like these blazing, like 8 pointed stars coming out of him. Also some feeling each other's energy. So Mark was feeling our energies. And even though he didn't know who was who, because he was also blindfolded, he could get a sense of who we were by feeling our energy. I found that to be also beautiful. And I could also really feel his energy when we were like touching hands like that. I could really feel the zzz, very strong because we were all very in tune and very focused on feeling each other's aura. So very, very beautiful. Let's get to the last point of today, and that is colors and what do they mean? Who can decide? I was asking like, who gets to decide what color means what? You know, and that was a question that I also asked. And I said, isn't it that we decide what we feel is what it means, right? So like I had seen on the other lady in the class, this light powdery blue, for me it meant it was soothing, you know, the sky, the seagulls, you know, the seagulls were, you know, from her hometown. I could see that. So it had that feeling for me. And Mark was like, yeah, that's true. You know, the colors that you see is what it is, you know, how you feel, how it makes you feel. But there's also a really interesting way to kind of put a little bit of organization to that, and that is energy systems. So if you're familiar with energy systems, for example, the chakra system, it has colors for each energy point. And so if you're uncertain, you can use that as a guide for understanding what the colors mean, but only if you use the chakra system and you kind of understand what each color means. If it's not familiar to you, that won't help you. But if it's familiar to you, it can help you to translate what the colors mean. So let's say red feels stable and you know, grounded and wealthy. So the different colors can, you know, in the chakra system can help you identify what the different aura colors mean. So that can work. Otherwise, you just follow what your feeling tells you. And that is the most important thing. What you feel when you see the color is the right thing. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I am really looking forward to seeing you next time. And remember, your magical experience matters. See you soon.
So you kind of have to think of it, this is my interpretation, So every feeling that I'm feeling right now, and all the colors and all the way that I feel about those colors, that is what I have to say, you know.